So I'm Nick Snell, and this is my oral annotation for this article, Peanut and Tree Nut Consumption During Pregnancy and Allergic Disease in Children. Should mothers decrease their intake? This is from the Danish National Birth Cohort. So their argument is right here in the abstract. Our results do not suggest that women should decrease peanut and tree nut intake during pregnancy. Instead, consumption of peanuts and tree nuts during pregnancy might even decrease the risk of allergic disease development in children. So that's what they're going to be arguing throughout the whole article. Here we have the methods, basically just explaining how they collected their data and put on their study. All women living in Denmark who could speak Danish and were planning to carry to term were eligible for recruitment. About 60% of all eligible women received an invitation from their general practitioner, and of those 60% chose to participate. A total of 101,045 pregnancies were enrolled. A food frequency questionnaire was administered around the 25th week of gestation. The women were interviewed again after birth when the child was 6 and 18 months old. So I think the most important part here would be the food frequency questionnaire, because that's how they really determine the diet of the mother and if they are consuming peanuts and tree nuts. So here we have a bunch of tables and graphs which show the numbers and the evidence, which is summarized down here. After multivariate adjustment, we found an inverse association between maternal peanut intake and child's asthma, but no association with either ever or recurrent wheeze. So as far as the asthma goes, they had an inverse association, meaning the more peanuts the mother consumed, the less likely they were to have asthma, but no association with wheezing. And here is some more evidence in the charts, and here it summarizes there was no association between self-reported allergic rhinitis diagnosis and peanut intake. We did find an inverse association with higher tree nut consumption during pregnancy. So as far as the self-reported food allergies, there is no association between the peanut intake and, again, an inverse association with higher tree nut consumption, meaning the more tree nuts that the mother consumed, the less likely the child was to be allergic to them. So down here in the discussion, we have the findings. We found that higher peanut and tree nut intake was inversely associated with asthma diagnosis and wheeze at 18 months. Furthermore, higher peanut intake was inversely associated with a registry diagnosis. So once again, all of these are the inverse associations, meaning that the more that the mother consumed the peanuts and tree nuts, less likely they were to have asthma and wheeze when they were 18 months old. So here, the implications, kind of similar to the implications of my last article that I did the annotation for regarding the previous beliefs in the UK about peanut consumption. These results support the recent withdrawal of the United Kingdom recommendations to avoid peanuts during pregnancy, as well as a report from the American Academy of Pediatrics that did not find any benefits of maternal dietary restrictions during pregnancy. Earlier recommendations were primarily based on development of peanut allergy in children, for which the evidence, although not firmly established, is more comprehensive than for asthma and allergic rhinitis. So they basically in 1998 and from then until recently, they believed that mothers should avoid peanut and tree nut consumption when they were pregnant and introduce it later in the child's life in order to prevent them from getting an allergy to those foods. But with this article and with others, they've recently withdrawn that statement and showing that there's an inverse association rather than that there's an inverse association meaning that basically the children and the mothers while they were pregnant should be consuming peanuts and tree nuts in order to prevent allergies. So that's my oral annotation for this article. Thank you.